What's going on, world? It's your boy KUYA P. This is Nerds Rule the World, back for another amazing Aces and Arrows interview. Shout out to my pals at Lifeline Comics, specifically my boy Jeremy Whitley, my brother from another mother. I've known him for so long. He got me in touch with FilipinX with Lifeline and told me about this wonderful project that is bringing to you all a ton of amazing artists, writers, creatives to this project that is going to be so special for the Aces and Arrows community. And I got another one, y'all. Y'all seen I already did like about, I think, 10 interviews already, and I got like another 4 that I'm editing up this week. I'm talking to everybody, and today is again going to be so special. I have the amazing Neila Elkins on the line. You're not going to see her video right now. You're gonna just see some stagnant artwork from her because we're having some video problems. Neila will talk about it in a second. We all got a lot of stuff going on, so Neila is coming in. We at least got the chance to talk to her. Let me bring her up right now. We're gonna switch off of me. You're gonna just see the artwork. There she is. Neila Elkins, aka Neila, is here. Neila, I'm shooting off air horns. Sorry for the stumbling, but I'm celebrating you. Thank you for your time. How are you today?
Oh, I'm doing all right. Like I said, I'm a bit nervous. I'm not used to doing podcasts and stuff. And sorry again for not having a camera that was decent. If you want to see something that looks like it was shot about 15 years ago, I could plug it in, but it's not going to look great.
Not a problem. It's all good. I completely understand. I make it work. You know,
Hmm.
I have this stagnant background because shout out again to Lifeline. But thank you. I appreciate you. But you're going to be a superstar. And while you may not have had so many, I think once they see this and see more of your work, you're going to have more people knocking at your door to be like, okay, we need to talk to you, Neila, because we want to just give you all the praise, the flowers.
Oh, thank you
So
so much.
Oh, definitely. So where did you first learn of this project with Lifeline? How did that come along, and then putting your pitch in to be a contributor?
I think I first learned about it on Blue Sky. Me and a lot of other writers and artists have moved over there from the dark place.
I agree with
And
you.
I was following Jeremy on there, and I think I saw his post about it. And then a few other friends had tagged me saying, "Hey, this Ace and Arrow anthology is looking for submissions," because like I'm an asexual writer and I happen to write a lot of ace characters and queer characters and gender fluid characters, and um so I was like, "Oh yeah, I'm gonna pitch something to that as soon as I can get the spare spoons and brain cells together to do it," because it was last year, which as we all know is stressful.
Yes, very much so.
Yeah. And so I ended up, I think I cut it pretty close with my submission because I was really wanting to do, like, my idea initially was a short comic about like, you know how in horror movies the final girl,
I was just
like
having a horror
the
interview talking with the final girl. So,
yeah, so
oh
so
yeah,
in horror movies generally the monster or the bad guy ends up going after the kids who are getting it on and stuff. And I thought, well, that wouldn't be a problem for an ace person like me who's celibate. So what if, well, like what else can I combine with that? Oh, unicorns are supposed to go and like be for the pure maidens and stuff. And then there's an old myth about Valkyries are only
okay.
supposed to appear to like the pure maidens and all. So my initial idea was I'm going to write a comic about a final girl who runs a unicorn farm with her Valkyrie girlfriend. But then I could not get it to work because my entire brain was being eaten up by everything going on last year. And I ended up writing this poem one night that was just voicing how I wanted to write this comic about this unicorns and monsters, but there are real monsters that we are facing right now.
Mm-hmm.
And then I built the comic around that.
Mm.
So the comic sort of had this whole journey of it was going to be one thing, and then it became something else. But it was this comic I needed to write rather than one that I wanted to write.
Wow. Yeah, I love that. I love how it's interesting how we get to, you know, the final products, if you will. You
Yeah.
know, still beautiful, wonderful, amazing ideas that probably we still want to do. And I'm still curious because I would love to see that
Hmm.
the other initial story that you said. But then there's also this other beautiful idea that now you've came up with and you put it into this. That's dope. So okay, so you settle on this idea, right? You submit that,
Hmm.
it gets approved. But when you came up with that idea, still, uh, as we both know, you're part of this anthology. I'm not sure if this is your first time being in an anthology. It's whittling that down as a writer. So we come
Hmm.
up with a concept, but then you only have X amount of pages. How many pages that
Exactly.
you got to were you allowed to contribute? What was that like, whittling that idea down to X pages, and how long did it take for that script to come together?
Initially, the script that I submitted was 8 pages, and then Jeremy let me know, hey, they did not have room for another 8 page story, but they did have room for four.
Oh,
And
so you
he
had
had
to
some
cut it in half.
suggestions. Yeah,
Ooh.
so we had to compress it. He had some suggestions on how to cut it down, and because some of the visuals were sort of like here's some an instance of a thing that happened in the past, and here's an instance of a thing that I was scared was going to happen in the future, which
Mm,
would be similar.
yeah,
So eliminated the duplications on those, and I was able to keep the original poem in its entirety in the comic.
that's good.
Yeah.
Okay.
And Ferio Wind did an amazing job with the artwork. It just looks so gorgeous.
Oh yes,
It's
let's
great.
salute the artists. Talk
Mhm.
to me about how you got paired, or were you able to help choose? And what was that like? You know, were there the process of like maybe giving notes, or did you just kind of allow her room to just breathe with the scripts? You know, what was that whole process like working with her, your artist as a collaborator?
Yeah, I've worked on some anthologies before, but I've been on the art end of things. Like I worked on Womanthology and I drew a comic for that and I did some other artwork for that. But on this one, since I was paired with another artist, I'm just not used to being on the writer side of stuff alone. Like so I kept worrying that I was being like too imposing to Varia Wind.
I feel you on that. As a
And
writer, it's always like I want to pull back. You got to learn to pull back because you don't
yeah,
want to. You want them to have the ability to breathe, you know, and
yeah.
not feel
So
restrained by your over description. I'll say that that's kind of what I had to learn.
mhm. Yeah, so I ended up I asked, "Hey, Fairywind, would you mind if I sent my thumbnail ideas that I had in mind for it? Like you do not have to adhere to them. I just wanted you to know like this is what I was picturing in my head and you have full reign to move things around and have different panel layouts and stuff." And they said, "Sure, that would be great."
Great.
So I went ahead and I did a quick pass of thumbnails and I sent those off. And I said, if I'm overstepping or if I'm being like too much, let me know because again, I'm not used to doing like I've written comics, but I've also drawn them.
Hmm.
So, and I've drawn comics for other people that have written them. So it was all a learning experience, which was really nice. And Ferio, they were so sweet. So it was
That's
great.
awesome. I love that, and salute to your collaborator. So pro tips for any of those that are maybe getting ready to work on an anthology or aspiring, proper communication, like what would you tell anybody out there that is desiring or already in the works of being a part of an anthology?
Um, Patience and understanding are both very good. And remember that the person you're collaborating with is a coworker and a collaborator. Like, you're not their boss. And even if you were, that doesn't mean that you need to be overbearing or anything. Just talk to one another and discuss what you have in mind and hear what their thoughts are. Because Pharaoh had some great thoughts about some of the visuals that I had described, and they had suggestions, and so we changed it, and it worked out great.
Completely agree. Completely agree. I love that. So this whole the concept of a project, as you said, you were already aware that it was going to be focusing on aces and arrows. What do you think about a project that is representational? I know for me, for me as a person of color, and then having so many friends and people that are in so various, all the various communities, it's everything, and it's what I need to break the monotony of recycled Hollywood and publishing and everything else, right? It's always
Hmm.
the same stuff. So this type of work is so meaningful and so important because also because I know, I'm not sure for you, but for me, I've had friends that haven't felt seen, and because of that, they've done different things that, I wish they could have seen that, and they would still be here. I don't want to,
Hmm.
get. I'm an empath, so as soon as I think about that stuff, I start to cry, and
Yeah,
it's okay
totally
to cry
understandable.
as well. Let me tell people it's
Hmm.
always okay to cry. But that, and that's why I love projects like this. So to help all of us speak without having to speak the words, we can speak
Hmm.
through the artwork, through the written story that you're providing, the poem that you have in your piece. We can speak in it. It's going to be so profound and so helpful to everyone. Why was it so special for you to be a part of this, and now a part of this with your work in it?
I think it's the representation, like you said, that is one reason that I find it special to be a part of this anthology because I, growing up, I thought I was weird. Like I am weird, but I thought I was weird in a bad way
Mhm.
because I wasn't interested in sexual stuff like friends were. Um, Many of my friends called me a prude. Um, I'm also genophobic, so I actually have a phobia of sex, so I have to like skip scenes on a lot of shows. But and I don't want that to influence or hurt someone else. That's just my issue. I can skip the scene. It's fine. Um, but again, growing up, I didn't have the words or the knowledge to know that asexuality was a thing. I didn't know it beyond like worms and hydra and plants and stuff that could asexually reproduce, which isn't exactly the same thing as somebody's attraction. I also did not know that genophobia was a thing either until I was an adult. And so my hope is that this anthology will help people feel seen and feel that representation so they will know that they're not alone and they're not broken and that the ACE and ARO spectrums are diverse and broad. There's tons of people that fit under both umbrellas, and those umbrellas overlap a lot of the time. So that's what I really hope this comic anthology does is touches people and lets them know that they're not alone.
I love that. So beautifully said, Neela. Thank you for sharing that. And thank you for being a part of this to help spread that compassion, that love, and that we are here. We are a community. We are supporting each other. I love that. I love that for you, and I love that for the people that are going to get it. Such a wonderful project. And again, I've had the pleasure of highlighting you all as contributors on this project, and just I salute you for this work. So let me remind everybody again, the Kickstarter campaign. Hopefully, by the time I get this out, it's still running. We need to just keep on contributing so we can support this beautiful community. Links in the description below. I'll also have Neela's links as well. So please show your love for Aces and Arrows. As you brought up earlier, Neela, I'm not going to let this one get past you. You had this original concept. You brought it to this, which is also a beautiful concept. Where might that go now? And then what are just some other projects that you have as well that we can talk about real quick?
I don't know. I might revisit the original idea. If I do, I might end up making it a novel because I've got a chronic ossifying tennis elbow in both arms, which has really put a damper on me doing artwork. I'm still able to do artwork, just a lot slower,
Hmm.
but I'm able to write prose still pretty fast.
Great.
And so more recently, I've been doing web novels. So it might be a concept I might come back to in a web novel format
Okay.
someday, but I'll have to see if I can get it to flow right because I don't want it to feel rushed or anything.
Definitely. Is it real quick if I can interject
Hmm.
in there as a novelist writer,
Hmm.
books outside of like comic art. I'm also a filmmaker. It's a different muscle that I know
Hmm.
I have to flex when I'm writing different forms. How is it for you? How have you found it to kind of go in between like a comic script to a novel script? What is that like? And also some pro tips again for those other fellow creatives that are watching this interview that I'd love to share with them because we're process nerds. As creatives, we always try to figure out a way to make things a little bit easier, right?
Yeah, so when writing a comic script, I have to remember not to go too heavy on the dialogue for each shot because there's just so much room you have on a page. And if something has too much dialogue per panel, then you're not only going to have problems laying it out and printing it and to be readable, but the artist is going to have problems laying it out and all. But the readers sometimes get bogged down by too much dialogue in it. So you'd have to pace it out properly and differently than if you were doing a novel. So, like something that I write that's one chapter in a web novel wouldn't necessarily translate the exact same as one issue of a comic.
Definitely. Definitely.
So the format issues, the format variations are something to keep in mind to make sure that it will be readable and flow and everything.
Definitely. Uh, for me, I like to talk about, like when for like comics, sometimes there's like the dialogue might be there, or you just know the situations. So it's like kind of like a rough line getting from the point A to point C. And then if you have like a 4 issue series, mini series, or it's a 12 issue maxi series to lay out the entire run, right? And then how do we get there? It's a lot of work there. But if you love this and you working with an artist, that collaboration there to make sure that they're getting what they want in there and kind of what scenes should be longer.
Hmm.
It's a lot of work, but if you love it, it ain't work. But it still is work.
Yeah. I
So
I
yeah,
tend to describe what I'm working on as just work, and then what I have to work on to pay bills is work.
I agree. So continuing on with the work that you
Hmm.
enjoy, just outside of what I would love to see since you brought it up, that I would like to see the longer story as well outside of the story that we're having in this. What are some other projects you have, and what also are your handles that we can throw out there for those that might be listening to this interview while commuting right now, so that they can know how to follow you as well.
I'm on Blue Sky as Neila K20, and I think I'm on Mastodon still as Neila K20, and those are pretty much the only social media things I still have at the moment.
Okay.
But a lot of my web novels are on Tapas at the moment. They have comics and novels. I have a a body horror mystery detective series called Book of Coal, which I'm hoping to start updating again this fall. Right now, there's basically a novel and a half because I have some long short stories in it that are available to read. Um, that's free to read. More recently, I've been writing a story called Slayer of Yggdrasil, which again is on Tapas, and it also features an asexual main character, and there's some body horror and horror features in it. It has a man-eating axe. It eats people, turns them inside out, and some Nazis die in the first chapter.
It's always
And
good to
then,
have some Nazis die.
oh yes, and then one of them dies again later. It's not the same guy. He's from the same group of guys, but still. Um, uh, so that one is also available for free, and it is based on a story I wrote in high school as a kid.
Okay.
And I wrote it as a novel in high school, and I wrote it for extra credit. Teacher didn't read it. It's a different story. But I kept revisiting it over the years, trying to revive the story and find some way to make it happen. And at one point, in I think 2019, I wanted to make a graphic novel. So I had an entire outline I made for 4 issues of it as a comic. And I was still having a lot of problems with my arm tendon, so I couldn't draw it. But I ended up setting it aside again until last year when Tapas did an action fantasy contest for the novels end of things, and I entered it into that.
Awesome.
And at the moment, it's actually featured for their Pride event on the website, as is Book of Coal. So
Wonderful.
that's really cool.
Hell
And
yeah.
then next month, I will starting the posting of Outside Cats, which is my science fiction body horror story about alien brainworms and cats trying to take over the Earth.
I dig it. I love
Yeah,
that.
I've got a lot of irons in the fire, and I write all the time whenever I'm not busy with work. So just posting things on Tapas as I can, and hoping that folks enjoy them because I'm going to be writing them anyway.
Definitely. We can never stop, whether we have an
Yes.
audience or not, you
Mm-hmm.
know, it's just in us if you're creative to just create, it's
Exactly.
it's what we are. At least I'll speak for myself, what I know I was put here to do,
Mm-hmm.
and
Mm-hmm.
inspire and celebrate my community like you and everyone else, to just continue. I'm an empath,
Mm-hmm.
as artists we are,
Mm-hmm.
this is an energy we got to give to each other. So thank you for giving me your energy, and hopefully I fed some energy to you as well. And I'm
Mm-hmm.
celebrating you with your work. And again, if y'all love Neila's contributions in the Aces and Arrows, as you just heard, go check out some of her other amazing great work that's out there. Support, follow, do all the things. And thank you, Neila, so much for your time, being
Oh,
involved with
thank
this
you.
other work that you have. I just think that's just beautiful, outstanding. And as a fellow creative, again, it feeds the community, and we appreciate it in every
Oh,
way.
thank you so much for having me. I hope I haven't rambled too much.
Oh, not at all. And I hope you had a good time. This was, you
Oh
know,
yeah.
told you earlier, there should be no nervousness. I'm a very personable, at least I try to show that and illustrate that because
Mm-hmm.
I'm a fellow creative. And it took a while back until to get me where I'm at now to just, you know what? The world is nuts outside, as you already know.
Mm-hmm.
Last year was terrible. I think it
Mm-hmm.
got even worse this year. I don't want to bring us
Yeah.
down, but I'm scared. But you know what? Even though I'm scared with what's going on outside, right now, I am talking to a fellow amazing creative right now. Despite it all, we're surviving and we're going to
Mm-hmm.
thrive with just doing what we can as a community here.
Yeah.
So, um,
And my view is the same. Like due to my physical issues and health issues, there's only like I can't go out and protest and stuff in person. But what I can do is I can write stories that give somebody an escape and helps them feel seen. Because I need the escape and I also need to be seen. So if I can help somebody that way, then I'm gonna keep sharing my stories that I'm writing.
I love that. All love to you right now, Neela. I
Oh,
appreciate that. I
thank you
mean
so
that.
much. Love you too.
Definitely. Definitely. So beautiful. Well said. Neela, congratulations on being involved with this, for you
Thank
helping
you.
the rest of the wider community with Aces and Arrows that this is going to do, and to the rest of your great work, and through speaking through your work, because like you said, because of the various reasons that you have, that you're going to help the community through your work. So that's just so special. All the love to you, Neila. Again, everybody, Aces and Arrows, go support the campaign right now. Links are in the description below, as well as to all of Neila's other links of work. Go check it out. Go subscribe, follow, support. I'm KUYA P. That is the amazing Neila. Nerds rule the world, y'all. Peace. All right, Neila, there's a cut.
Nerds rule the world.
Pleasure chatting with you. Love to all my nerds who rule the world.
Yeah. Nerds rule the world.
Yes, we do.
Thanks. Nerds rule the world.
Thank you.
I love the nerds ruling the world, so more power to you.
Patrick, what up, man? And yes, they do. Nerds rule the world, kid.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Awesome. KUYA P, Nerds rule the world. Hello.
Yes, they do.
Yes.
Oh,
nerds rule the world.
I got.
It's in the title of your show, like Nerds rule the world. Like, I want more Black weirdos on screen, and I don't feel like we ever get to see that very much.
Thank you so much. Nerds do rule the world.
Yes. Thank you.
Thank you, Nerds rule. Love
it. Hello, Sarah. Hello, Julian.
Yes, nerds rule. Yes,
rock on. I love it. Thank you so much.
It's good to see you. I love Nerds Rule the World.
But yeah, there's a heavy nerd component, man.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, if you ask me, nerds rule the world. So
absolutely.
And you're right. Nerds do rule the world.
We're just the best.
Yes.
Thank you, ladies.
So much.
Yes. Thank you, guys.
Bye.
It's your boy KUYA P. Nerds rule the world. Thank you so much, guys. I appreciate you.
They rule the world all right.
Yes. Take care, Tony. Thank you, guys.